So we can use algorithms to navigate around these cognitive biases so they don't result in us making terrible decisions. But obviously, it depends on the data you're putting into your algorithm. So let's understand the different types of assessment methodologies. There's a lot of research about the effectiveness of different hiring techniques. The most well-known is Schmidt and Hunter's 1998 meta-analysis, which forms the foundation of the science around selection. This research was also recently updated in 2016. They looked at thousands of existing studies over the past 100 years to work out the techniques that most accurately predict on-the-job performance. What we're seeing here is cognitive assessment, structured interviews, and behavioural assessments all have strong predictive abilities for on-the-job performance. But by the way, horoscopes and handwriting analysis are not predictive. I know, I was shocked too. Unfortunately, our brains are just not very good at making these kinds of calculations. So in order to make good hiring decisions, we use a weighted algorithm of these factors to ensure as much as possible that the individual can not only do the job, but will enjoy it and ideally be a high performer. Research suggests that these high performers produce 40% more output than their colleagues. Given that, the payoff from using superior selection methods is substantial, and that's why we can't just leave it to gut feelings. Well, that's exactly what Dr. Dan Harrison of Harrison Assessments has created. Dr. Harrison has dual PhDs in mathematics and organisational psychology, and personally, I'm convinced he's a modern-day genius. In particular, I believe his approach to behavioural assessment to be second to none. It's this unique combination of mathematical ability and deep understanding of psychology in the workplace that makes all the difference. Using just one 20-minute assessment, we can accurately and objectively measure a candidate's experience, skills and qualifications, along with 175 workplace-related behavioural traits. We then analyse this data against a job-specific algorithm of what drives performance in that role. We call these job-specific algorithms job success formulas. By adding cognitive assessments, we can even further boost the predictive ability of the selection process. When using Harrison assessments, we want to address three key questions. Can they do the work? So a quantitative measure of experience, qualifications and skills. Do they enjoy this kind of work? Using our workplace behavioural assessment, which predicts engagement levels. And do they have the smarts for this kind of work? Cognitive assessment of their verbal, numerical and problem-solving ability. Each of these elements is quantified and ranked with a weighting in the algorithm. We then compare the individual against the job success formula to provide an overall predictive score of their likelihood of being a high performer in a particular role.